Hello, hello. It's about 5 o'clock here. Maria and I have been working on getting things planted from our Fedco order since early this morning, and so we suddenly have a lot more plants in the garden. Figured I would show off what we've gotten done here. In this area next to the house, we planted both elderberries. This one over here is Adams number 1, gets about, I think it's 6 to 12 feet tall and wide, and this one's like 4 to 8 or 6 to 8 feet tall and wide. That's Bob Gordon. So they're gonna get pretty big, and in an ideal scenario, we'll have to like carve a pathway between them. So it'll be interesting. I'd kind of forgotten how big that one was, or I didn't properly check, so plans changed on where we were putting that. But it's going to get more sun now. This one will probably block some sun from it, but it'll be slightly better than if it were hiding back there a bit, which might give us some better elderberry yields. Maria's parents came by today and dropped off 7 blueberry bushes for us. I guess there's 2 varieties, so there's some small ones in here, about 4 smaller pieces, and then these 3 taller things that you may or may not be able to tell are here. So there's one there, there's one right about here. But anyway, there were like no roots in the way. I was surprised, and we're hoping that the soil is acidic enough, but I will check it out and see if I need to add anything for the blueberries. But that's kind of exciting. We hadn't planned on adding blueberries this year, and we're kind of looking to do that in the future. So this was a bit of an unplanned bonus for this season. We have a ton of little ground bees. I'm going to see if I can zoom in and show one off here. Oh, here's a little guy. Oh, he flew away. Well, they are all over the place here, and we didn't have these last year. Not sure when they decided that our yard was nice, but we're quite excited, quite happy about it. And we've been trying to make sure that we don't bother them too much as we go about our work, which is kind of difficult considering the fact that I keep having to bring the wheelbarrow around and all sorts of things like that. But they are, we're not sure what the variety is. They might be leaf cutters, they might be cellophane bees. There was a third option that someone had suggested, so we'll see. If they eat the roses, and they're probably leaf cutters. But regardless, they're some sort of native pollinator, which is fantastic. The iris are filling the area in quite nicely, as are the 6 or 7 varieties of sedum in there with them. So hopefully by the end of this year, preferably sooner than that, this area is just full of sedum and iris. Here we have Winter Harvey apple tree. Not quite as tall as me, but it's really nicely feathered. Fedco sends nice trees out. So I'm really happy with that guy, and can't wait to see what the apples are like. There's not a ton of information available online, so I need to do some looking and see if MOFGA, the Heritage Orchard organization that it came from, can give me an idea. We have tons of little pieces of paper and newspaper all over the yard. The Fedco shipment came with that in the roots to keep everything moist, which is really nice. It's just now blowing everywhere, so we're going to have to deal with that. The daffodils, so some of these daffodils that we purchased last year are starting to get bud heads on them, which is exciting, just like everything else going on. Can't wait until they flower. The peonies are starting to come up really nice. We do have a couple of well below freezing days coming up this week, so I'm really worried about everything. But hopefully nothing really dies. The garlic over here is starting to visibly sprout. You can see, hopefully you can tell on screen there, that We got all sorts of little green shoots coming up. I got myself a book on Italian food preservation, so I'm hoping I can do some nice things with the garlic and the tomatoes. Very much looking forward to that. Still have just the mounds, so I'm gonna wait as long as I can on the mushrooms. Apparently they most prefer like 70-degree weather, so that's gonna be a while before it comes, but we'll see. And I have a lot of other stuff I need to get to. Here we have our plum thicket. Now this is quite possibly the most controversial part of our garden, because not a lot of people grow their fruits in thickets like this. It was a suggestion from the Holistic Orchard, said that the author has a friend who has great success growing plums in these little thickets, plants 3 or 4 of them in one hole about 18 inches apart, and they pollinate really well. They keep each other good company. So we have 4 varieties of plum here. Let's see, the one in the back with the blue tag is an American plum. It's a seedling, so it's not like a variety, it's sort of a wild plum as I understand. Up front here is Mount Royal, which is the whole reason we have plums. Maria's family has told me stories for years of a rustic plum cake, and that was the type of plum that they used to grow. So hoping that that one does really well. We have La Crescent here, the smallest of the plum trees, and that one is a University of Minnesota variety that will not cross-pollinate with the Mountain Royal or the American, or actually it goes with the American. So it won't go with the 2 European plums. So there's the Long John there, which is a European plum, and that will cross-pollinate with the Mount Royal. The American plum will cross-pollinate with La Crescent. Now La Crescent is interesting. Apparently it's yellow with a bit of pink or orange on it, and I guess it has a bit of a flavor of an apricot. I thought that would be really interesting. Don't have much interest in apricots, but with 3 other plum trees, figured it couldn't hurt to have at least one that was slightly ornamental in appearance. Here we have a slightly sad-looking chokecherry, the chokeberry. This is the Viking Black chokeberry. It was the second thing that got planted today, and the leaves were starting to wilt before I got it in the ground, so I'm hoping that it's doing okay. I'm alright if the leaves die as long as the rest of the plant doesn't. And the other shoots that haven't sprouted yet are looking good, so hopefully hopefully we don't have any problems there. And finally, right here in our messy section of the front yard is a Seckel pear, Seckel. Now this guy needs something to help cross-pollinate, but we are not planting a second pear tree. One of the things that we are going to do when this tree is large enough, we're going to graft at least one other variety of pear onto it, giving it a partner with which to procreate. Pears take a really long time. I guess it can take up to 12 years to get this thing fruiting. So I don't plan on worrying too much about it for the time being. You know, take care of the tree, let it grow, let it be happy. Eventually, probably in about 2-3 years, graft, I would say 2 varieties of pear onto it. Keep letting it grow and hope that we get a good season out of it eventually. And I do believe that is all. So I am going to go ahead and clean myself up, get the yard a bit better cleaned up, and let you guys get back to your night. So thanks for watching. We'll see you. Bye.